So I want to show you guys a little bit of what I've been doing for the last couple weeks here in the garage. Since the baby is on its way and I had to move all my games out of the house and put them in storage, I wanted to consolidate some of the area where I test games and then kind of burn chips for people on eBay and then put things together. So over here you can see there's a two-player control panel that I kind of took out the monitor that was here and some of the other crap that was here, like the keyboard and mouse, which the keyboard is now underneath here. This thing's a little too tall, so I got to come up with some solution so it'll bring it off the ground. Right now it's just sitting on these little Tupperware containers, and I'm also going to jazz this up. I'll put some artwork on it and kind of put a hinge and all this stuff, but underneath is just the wire harnesses. Player 1, player 2. I'm going to buy some new buttons and joysticks and stuff like that and make it look clean, but I wanted some more room up here. And what I did was I bought this thing on Amazon that basically splits the VGA signal. So I got one VGA signal right here coming out of the converter card for the arcade boards when I test them on the JAMA, and that goes into the box. If I want to use that, I push this button. If I want to use my computer, which is down here, I just press the other button here on top and it sends the signal up into my big screen, old school flat screen. And I can have one monitor, which is on the wall, and test games and use the computer, which is kind of nice, and it gets rid of all the room. So I also am redoing the control panel. I'm waiting for the Lexan to get made at the shop, and I'll put that together. And then I bought another Bartop from a company called Game Room Solutions on eBay. A pretty nice little kit. It's one of those pressed board cam lock systems. I just really did not want to make my own kit and go through all the trouble. I don't have time anymore for that stuff to do this sort of setup. And the reason that's sitting over there is because I didn't want the two-player control panel. It's too wide. It comes out about this long on each side. So I'm having the guy who I bought it from, Harriman's Customs, make me a one-player control panel that'll just fit right there. So that'll be the next project. I'm not really going to worry about that right now. That's been here for like 2 years, but this here is pretty nice. The only thing you really need to buy is a set of speakers, an amp. I'm going to try a Raspberry Pi 3. It's like a little miniature computer, in case you don't know what that is. And you put this thing called Emulation Station on it. It's basically going to be Super Nintendo, NES, Sega Genesis, and MAME. I'm not sure how well the MAME games are going to run, but I mean, I have a full-size arcade cabinet with a full computer in it for MAME, so I'm not really worried about that. It's going to be more of an NES build. So you can kind of see the design. Here's the shape of the cabinet. You can kind of see right there, it's all the cam locks. Those are the posts that go into the cam locks and you turn them. And then this is the other side here. Kind of trying to make everything as clean as possible. Power over here and the HDMI over here. You can see there's more cam locks over here. And this is a 22-inch Asus LED monitor that fits in there. And then the speakers that I bought are 4-inch car speakers, and those get wired into the amp, and then the amp in goes into the Raspberry Pi with this. So here's a Raspberry Pi. It's got a case on it, 4 USB ports, Ethernet, audio out, HDMI out, and the power. And the way this runs is you put these little mini SD cards right there, and you can see this is a 64 gigabyte one. And what you do is you load all the ROMs on that, as well as the system. And this just kind of sits in the bottom. You can see I got Velcro on it. So it'll kind of sit, this is the bottom of the cabinet here. So it'll kind of sit like this on the bottom of the cabinet. Because once this goes up, it'll tilt up like this and sit. And then I'll plug everything in. A couple other things I'm going to do with it is I'm going to put some LED lights to illuminate the Translight. These are the ones that you plug in with a 12-volt supply. Kind of like I'm doing right here with the LED buttons. So you can see I kind of hack the cable up, and then you plug in a 12 volt, which is right here. Just your standard 12 volt, and you just kind of plug it in like so, and it lights up each LED button. So each button will have 4 wires. You'll have the ground and the power, and then on the back you'll have the ground and the power for the button when you actually depress the button. So that's how that works. And then again, when you want to light up the cabinet, I'm going to add at a future date, once I get this done, some red LEDs right here kind of underneath the control panel and all along the back and the top. So when you turn the game on, it'll kind of illuminate red all along the bottom of the control panel, the back of the machine. It'll kind of look like a red glow around it, which I think will look pretty cool. And then I'll probably add red LED buttons and joysticks and all that junk at a later date. But again, that's going down the road, and that's going to be next. But I'm going to finish this. Here's all the buttons and joysticks. I'm using these Sanwa joysticks on this because I just kind of like the look. It's going to be an NES build, and it kind of reminds me of the old NES control panel. Here is the actual control panel. You can see I got all the buttons marked of what's what. So player 1 is here. Player 2 is here, you know, player numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the same here. So this is what it's going to look like. I wanted to do 2-player on this just in case like people come over and they want to play against me. It'll be a smaller unit instead of having something large like that in my home. So it'll be pretty nice. I'm going to try it. It's going to do, I already have all the artwork printed. It should be here today actually. It's going to be reminiscent of an old NES control deck. So it'll be pretty cool when it's done. The front of the machine will have 4 buttons. This goes like this right here. Kind of slips in like so. So the front will have 4 buttons, you know, like home, escape, start, select, that sort of thing. You can see the speaker holes are drilled. So it just kind of goes together very nicely. You just take a screwdriver and you turn the little lock, just like the furniture you buy at like IKEA or Target, and it kind of just locks itself in. So I really didn't want to put too much effort into this because I don't have a lot of time to do it. But once I get this together, I'll kind of make a little demo, show you what it does and what it can't do, what its limitations are, and what I would change. But you can see I've already had to drill the monitor mounting piece of wood almost all the way up to the top because this monitor, I wanted it to slide up closer and close this gap. But what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to make a piece of custom Lexan out of black and just score it and cut out the front. So that way on each side it'll close up this gap on the top, and there's a tiny one on the bottom, so I might just be able to avoid that. So I'll just be able to do that. And you can see there's already grooving here for their plexi to snap in. So it's a pretty nicely made kit. It is, like I said, that pressed MDF board, which I'm not a huge fan of, especially if you have to drill holes in it. It makes a huge mess, and then those holes usually strip pretty easy. But with the cam locks, it's nice and simple and it's clean. So that's pretty much what I've been doing in here. It's kind of nice to test boards on a big screen and see the game, like, you know, Street Fighter or whatever it may be, being displayed on a big, I think these are 42 inches, so it's kind of nice. And then I have the computer hooked up, and when I do stuff, it's up on the wall as well. So that kind of consolidated a lot of room for me over here. And I'm going to change this, add some artwork, LED buttons, and that kind of crap on this. That's pretty much it. I mean, there's not a lot going on here. I'm kind of busy trying to get these Raptor wheels in storage, and I have another monitor in here, and, you know, working on this. This is going to be next, and then working on this. So it's kind of fun to have something again to do. I'm kind of out of room, as you guys can see in here, but it's kind of nice to be able to be kind of in this room and not have to be worried about being bothered. I can do what I want in here. It's quiet out here. I won't be bothering anybody as far as when the baby comes. It'll be something that if I got to drill holes or anything, I can go out in the driveway and do it. So that's pretty much it. I'll kind of make some videos and let you guys see what the progress of this is, but I should have this all together probably in the next 48 hours, and I'll just hopefully be able to load everything on the Raspberry Pi and start it up and be playing. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. So GameRoomSolutions.com is where I got this. That one I had custom made by Harriman's Customs a while back, probably 2 years ago. That's going to be the MK1 MAME, as it always has been. And then the testing station over here, Super Gun, the computer for burning chips. So that's it, guys. We'll see you.